If you're selling clothing in your online store and you're not providing as much context as possible for people who are trying to buy it, you're leaving sales on the table. So in this tutorial, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through how to set up a size guide for your products to make it as easy as possible for people when they're looking at purchasing something from you, they know what they're actually buying. This is gonna reduce return rates and increase conversion. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jump over to my screen and I'm gonna walk you through how to add a bunch of different sizing charts to a Shopify store. You'll see you get your dashboard here with a couple of insights that show up on your screen. Now, in order for us to go and add a size chart, the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to have a product to work with. So I've actually gone ahead and I've entered in a product beforehand. So I have the springtime summer dress. I've created a description for it. I have an image that we're going to use. I put in some pricing, and Shopify has already gone and added some metafields into my product. This will come up later. We can accept their suggestions, hit save. We will go back to metafields later on once we get a little bit more into this tutorial. But let's go and view this product on our store. And we can see we have our nice summer dress, we have our description, we have our quantities, and we have it sold out right now. We can go and change this quantity here. Let's change this up to, oh, that's available. Here we go. Let's change this to, oops, wrong way. Let's go to, we have 10 available. All right, and now we're going to, okay, that's been saved, and we're gonna go back over here. So now we have our product. It has our description and it has our item in an image. Now what we wanna do is we wanna add a sizing chart to this. So we wanna make it easy for people to learn and whether or not they're gonna fit the dress. So the first thing we're gonna do is if we go back over to Shopify and we go to online store, and then we go to customize, it's going to drop us in our page. We're back at the passive aggressive haberdashery. We're going to click the top here under homepage. So you see there's this small little link at the top here. This allows us to go to different pages in our customizer directly. Now you can browse different pages on your site, so you can go into like catalog. If you have your catalog set up, you can click on the dress, it'll take you to that dress, and then it will drop you on the template that we want to go and modify, which is the default product. You'll see that it has selected it because it's got a gray background. Now you can also go through this menu, go to products, and go and select it. Another way of getting there. In Shopify, there are multiple ways to get to the same place. You can choose whichever one works best for you. All right, so we're on this page here, and on the left-hand side, we can see we have our different sections that are set up. So the way this works is Shopify has sections, which are different blocks of pages or blocks of items on your page, and underneath them, you have blocks. And in those blocks, so say these blocks, you have elements. So inside these elements, you have different pieces. Now in Shopify, they have now improved the hierarchy of this stuff. So you can put things inside of things, inside of things, inside of things, which makes it easier for you to see what's going on with your product. Now for here, what we're gonna do is under product information, we have first our product media, which is being showed on the left, and then we have our product details, which is being shown on the right. We want to go and add in a block under the details, which is going to show our sizing chart. And we're going to do this with an accordion. So we're going to go in and we're going to select the accordion option. And you'll see it's added an accordion below our description. Now, if we want to move this above our description, say we want to first put our return policy, we want to put our product description below, we can do that. We can move our description above the buy button so that you can explain what people are going to buy before they go and do it. And then you can put the accordion down below. Now, when you install the accordion, it's going to give you a couple of predetermined items. Reliable shipping is going to be one of them, flexible returns, and then it's going to have your manufacturing and return policy. So as you can see, I can go and reduce and open all of these. This is a little bit confusing because it has shipping policy and flexible returns as individual blocks already in here. So we're going to go and remove those because we're going to go put those, actually we're going to move those shipping policies and we're going to move them underneath our shipping. So now if we open this up, we can see we have reliable shipping underneath this accordion already. So that's our shipping information, okay? Now, if we want to remove our return policy underneath its own accordion. As we can see, we have our accordion here with flexible returns. We can go and take the return policy over here and we can drag it underneath accordion, accordion row, shipping policy, accordion row. Oh, sorry, I'm grabbing the wrong one. I want to grab this one and I want to put it under return policy. So we can get rid of that text. We can get rid of that text. We've got a return policy here. Okay, great. Those ones are now set up. And so now under return policy, we have flexible returns. Great. And then under shipping, we have our reliable shipping. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we want to actually add that size guide. So we're going to go down to accordion and we're going to rename manufacturing and we're going to change this to size guide. So size guide. Great. Now the size guide, we wanted to move it up. So if we go in on the left-hand side here, we can take this size guide and we can move it to the top. Now, one thing inside of Shopify, it pre-labels all of your blocks or your sections with the type that it is. I find that it is much easier to go in after you've added these things in here and rename them. So you click on the item at the top. This isn't super obvious. You can also right click to get to it, but you can turn this one into return policy. Great. And you'll see it now has return policy. Actually, we can move these out of their folder here. Great. And we can get rid of this extra folder here. And now we have return policy as one accordion, okay? Which is awesome. Now, as you can see, when I removed that folder, right, it's now stacked them on top of each other. So that folder that we had there, so if we go and add in, okay, so now we can go to our image that we've put in here and we can go and upload our new size guide. So we'll call this level 1. This is the first basic level that you can put in for your size guide. So now when we go into size guide, people can open up the size guide. They can see what is the sizes that are there. They can see the sizes, they can waist, and they can see the hips. That's, that's kind of like the basic level that you want to do. But now here's the issue is we have added this to the product template. And the product template is the same for all of our products. So here is an example. If I save this and I go into my store and I add another product, so let's go into the store here and let's add another product. And we're going to say this is men's shorts, summertime shorts, generate that. While it's doing that, I'll go over to Gemini, grab an image. Okay, once it finishes doing that, we've got our item in here. We've got our price. There's going to be $35. We've got to go and add. We'll save that. We're going to add how many we have. Once that's done, we're going to say we have 10 of them. Oops, 10 of them there. Let's go back over here, make sure we have everything we need. Awesome. We'll grab an image. Perfect. And we're going to add that image here. Wonderful. And now we save this and we preview it. Now you're going to see immediately, here's the problem, is we have these shorts that are going to be for sale. But if we go into size guide, we now have the women's size guide, which doesn't make sense. Now, it's very often you're going to sell multiple products on your page that are going to fit differently. They're going to fit differently. They're going to have different size charts. So we want to be able to switch this out to be dynamic. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use a metafield. Metafields are essentially custom fields inside of Shopify. So if we go back over to our store, the first thing we need to do is we need to set up a product level metafield so we have something for it to change out when you switch pages. So the first thing you do is you go down to settings and then you go to metafields and meta objects. And then it's going to give you a list. I'll zoom this in here so we can all see here. A list of all of the different elements inside of Shopify that can have metafields. So you have products, you have variants, collections, customers, orders, draft orders, companies, company locations, pages, blogs, blog posts, markets, and shop. All can take metafields. And those are different scopes. Those are different areas in which those custom fields will duplicate themselves along. We want to go and add it to the product level. So we're going to go into product and we're going to go and add a definition. And this is going to be called the size guide. Okay? This is just going to be size guide for products. And now we have to select a type. So the type is the type of information that that metafield is going to allow you to take in. In this particular case, we are not going to do single line text. We're not going to do multi-line text because that means we would have to go and type in the sizes for each one, format them and stuff like that. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go and select a file. And this file is going to be a one file because we want to replace it differently on each page that we're going to go and do. And then we're going to have the specific file type that we want. We want to restrict it to images. We only want our staff to be able to upload images. Now, with a file type, if you wanted to put a more comprehensive size guide in there, maybe you wanted to put in a link to a PDF, maybe there's maybe you want to add a manual or something like that. You're selling specific products. You can go and select all file types. For this demo, we're just going to go with images. We're going to go and save that. And now Shopify has created ourselves a metafield for an image. Okay. So now the next thing we want to do is now we have to go and assign the correct size guide image to the product. So let's go back to springtime dress and we're going to come down to the bottom here and we can see we have these product metafields field that has shown up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to go select an image and we're going to select this women's size guide that we have here. We're going to hit done and then we're going to hit save. So now this size guide is specifically attached to this product. Now I'm going to go and create another one here. So I'm going to go back to here and we're going to go men's shorts size guide. We're going to grab a different one here. Let's go something that is a little bit, well, we'll do this one here because it shows that it's completely different. So we're going to save that one there. Okay, great. And then we're going to go over to our other product. So if we go back to our men's shorts and we go down to our men's shorts and we go to size guide here and we can go and upload another image. So we can take our men's short size guides. Ideally, you'll go and create your own images so they match your brand and they look good with your store and all that sort of stuff. I'm using Google Images just for this demo. We hit done. And now we have our men's size guide connected. Now, you might think you're done here, but you're not. What you need to do is you now need to connect this dynamic field to the template. And this is where most people go wrong. So if you go into online store, now that we've set up the meta field and we've added our individual pieces, we're going to go to customize again. And then we're going to browse to our catalog. And we're going to go into any product. It doesn't matter which product we pick, because it's a template and templates get applied to every single product that are assigned to that template. If we make the change on one template, it's going to work on all of them. So now what we want to do is we want to go into our size guide here. And if we open it up, we'll see we still have the women's size guide. But under the image, under size guide here, we're going to go under image. This is the image that is being pulled into that size guide. We're going to click on change, and then we're going to go and click on connect dynamic source. So we're going to hit connect dynamic source, and then we're going to select the size guide that we created in the meta fields. Okay. Once we've done that, we're going to hit save. And now when we open up size guide, we can see we have the men's size guide here. Now, if we go over to the catalog and go back to the springtime summer dress, open this one up, we can see we have the women's size guide. So this is how it allows you to change each individual product page to have its own size guide. Now, there are lots of things you can do from here. You can add text in there. You can say how it fits the model. You can say fits tighter than normal. You can add these dynamic fields using these principles that I showed you. So first, you go and create a meta field, and be careful because each individual meta field requires a specific type. So if you're trying to fill in a image field, but the kind of type you chose underneath your meta field is like text or number, that meta field is not going to show up. They have to be the same type. So if you're going to be putting images in, you go and you add a meta field, which is a file, you restrict it to images, and then you go to your product page, you add in your section that has your image, and then you attach that dynamic source. And that's how you're able to have individual product size guides without creating multiple templates inside of Shopify. It's how dynamic fields work. All right, that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any of these questions, I run an online community called Expert by Monday. You can always get there by going to expertbymonday.com/community. Join up, lots of people in there to help you out with any of your Shopify stuff. We'll catch you in the next one.